If you are looking for a space to hang out with some of the best engineers, the best software researchers, the best malware developers, the best of the best, that's what I'm trying to build on crackedeng.com. So, as a lot of you know, my Discord server that had grown to like 200 something users um, for malware development was shut down last month. We broke TOS apparently, according to Discord. My entire account was nuked. It was this whole thing. I've got a video about it that I'll link somewhere up there. Um, it was an awesome community. I had met some really cool people, and we were really building something neat. And somebody came in trying to sell a piece of malware and reported the server when I kicked them out. I believe that's what happened. That's my story at least. So in the week or two since that happened, it's actually probably been a little bit longer than that, and in the time since that happened, I've been kind of thinking about what to build, or even if I wanted to build anything else after that. In my mind, I could start a new Discord server that was probably going to get shut down for ban evasion and for doing the same stuff that we were doing before, because malware development research is always going to kind of toe the line on terms of service. I could start a self-hosted thing, which is what I immediately kind of wanted to do. In my mind, I was like, okay, well, I can do a Matrix server, which is a self-hosted encrypted chat server that's very, very similar to Discord. I've done a Matrix server before a long time ago. I could, maybe start on some other platform. I could start, maybe a Circles community. That's what a lot of folks are doing now. But I knew that I wanted to self-host something, and my mind started to immediately go towards a forum. I put out a poll on YouTube and Twitter both. The results were incredibly split, like almost 50-50. There was a slight preference for another chat service. I'll kind of discuss why I didn't go with that here in a second. But I was pondering over it, and during that period of time, I kind of started to think about, okay, well, what do I want out of this? Like, what am I trying to create here? And what the Discord server was supposed to be was that it was supposed to be a place where folks could freely talk about malware development and do research together and contribute to something big and create a community where people pushed a form of research forward that I think is lacking. And Discord was okay for that. There were a lot of really fun conversations in the Discord, and I think I formed some relationships and friendships with some really cool people that are way smarter than I am, and it was really pushing me forward, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. What it's not good at is conversations on Discord are very ephemeral, meaning you have the conversation once and you don't really return back to the information in it. It's kind of difficult too. There's a chat bar, that's okay, but the purpose of Discord is to have a real-time or close to real-time conversation. Twitter is kind of similar. Twitter is a little bit less ephemeral. Like, you can obviously go and look up tweets, but the purpose of Twitter is to have more or less ephemeral conversations. What I mean by ephemeral is these conversations aren't supposed to go on forever. The focus is not on indexing conversations and making it easy to find information and easy to debate information. It's much more of a public square mentality. So you have a conversation, and that conversation more or less has a start and end point. That's fine. I don't have anything against Discord. I have a thing against Discord, like their application of the TOS, which I think is kind of stupid. But I don't have anything against Discord and chat platforms as a platform, as an idea. I think they're really, really good for a very specific type of conversation. I don't think they're good for what I'm trying to build. What I'm trying to build is a research community that builds stuff, a research community that helps people become better engineers. And in my mind, I was like, I want to continue the malware development research that we're doing. I think that that's important. But I kind of want to broaden the scope to take aim at what I think is, for lack of a better term, the enshittification of software. We are continuously writing worse and worse software, and the platforms that we're using are degrading more and more. And it's not just me that thinks this. I mean, tons of thinkers, from Casey Muratori to Primeagen to DHH, all of them are talking about this. This is a thing that intelligent people are noticing, that software is getting worse even as technology is improving. Every single thing about the software development world would point to and indicate that software should be getting better, that it should be getting more efficient, that it should be getting more stable, that it should be getting easier to use, and it's not. None of that stuff is happening. UI UX is a disaster on tons of different sites. Honestly, Discourse, which is the forum software that I'm using, a little clunky. It's not great. Maybe I'll contribute in some way to, the Discourse open source, but that's, we'll talk about that here in a second. The point being is that I want to reverse that trend, or I want to at least push back against it. And I want to create a community that values good software and the writing of good software and the knowledge of software in an era where that's kind of starting to look like it's going away, where people are depending more and more on AI to write their code for them, where people are depending more and more on, well, I don't need to know anything because all of the knowledge is at my fingertips and I can just look it up. This is something that I've fallen prey to and that I'm trying to reverse in my own, software development lifecycle. So that's why I landed on forums. Forums are really, really great for indexing information and making it available, for publishing long form discussions and still having short form discussions underneath in the comment section. It's really, really great for creating a meritocratic environment where if you see somebody who's very popular on a forum, it's probably because they know their stuff. There are ways to game the system, but it's not as common as, say, like on Twitter or LinkedIn, where there are ways that you can kind of make your profile look like somebody who knows what they're talking about when you really don't. Forums are really, really great for creating that meritocratic kind of environment where you can have conversations with people and be on the same level as them conversationally, but you also know that they know what they're talking about. And you can build yourself up to that level yourself by joining in these conversations. So I landed on a forum. I knew that I did not want to create a subreddit because Reddit is a fucking disaster, and I do not feel like spending any time on that site if I can avoid it. I knew that I didn't want to do a solution on, somebody else's server, because that's what happened to Discord. It went very, very wrong, and I did not feel like dealing with that again. I knew that I probably wanted to go with a forum software, and I found Discourse, and Discourse was really, really easy to set up. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, and it is clunky. There are some things that I'm kind of having to figure out, as you'll probably see in a moment, but it is a great forum software that I think is going to serve the needs of the community. I think people are going to be able to have interesting conversations across a wide array of different discussion points. If you want to join the forum, it's free. It will remain free. I'm going to figure out some way to maybe offset the server cost somewhere, maybe a donation link or something like that. But, right now it is, 100% free, no monetization anywhere, and you can join at any time. I've got categories for AI, knowledge management, which I think is an underrated part of software engineering. Malware development, obviously that's the bread and butter. That's what a lot of folks are going to be looking for. As well as SaaS and entrepreneurship, web development, and I will be adding more categories. There is a, category suggestion thread right here that you can drop into, leave a comment on it, and say what you want to see. So I highly recommend, if there's something that you want to see, I want to add tons of new categories so that people can, share links and have discussions and things like that on here. I'm going to be doing lots of updates on both the server and on YouTube about the server, so you will be hearing about this pretty frequently. This is going to be kind of the baby that I raise over the next, several months, probably several years, to kind of, build this into the community that I wanted to see, on Discord before it got nuked. That's about it. Check it out at Check it out at discourse.crackedeng.com. I will leave a link everywhere that I'm allowed to leave a link, and probably some places that I'm not. If you want to become a great engineer, that is basically the bread and butter of this community. So go check it out. Take it easy. Peace.